Do you remember back in the day when we had 180 RPM hand cannons with the capacity to 3-tap off spawn? Did you forget the Not Forgotten? Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl had a 0.67 second time to kill without even any extra damage perks. And if you utilize Magnificent Howl just right, you get a crazy 0.33 second time to kill with a 2-tap. What if I told you that the days of such time to kills aren't over just yet? And what if I told you that you can quite easily get a time to kill like this even in the current sandbox? Would you think I'm crazy? Stay with me here as I analyze how you can get some of the fastest time to kills in Destiny 2. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Messenger Pulse Rifle. Yeah, I know, I'm quite late to the party here, but I wanted to take an in-depth look at this Pulse Rifle and all the things that make it special. As you can probably tell by now, the Messenger can achieve that same time to kill as the 2-tapping pre-nerfed Not Forgotten. Let's take a look at how you can consistently achieve this elusive time to kill. I believe that the Messenger is a top meta pick when it comes to pulse rifles, and I hope to explain to you why this gun is one of the most skillful and deadly weapons to have ever existed in Destiny 2. Before we get into the review, let's address the elephant in the room. The Messenger is an exclusive reward from the Trials of Osiris playlist, and I know some of you really don't like to play Trials. It might be reassuring that within a single week, you can get at least 3 drops of the Messenger without ever winning a match from the endgame bounty on weekends where the Messenger is a 3-win reward. By the way, if you're looking for a group to play some Trials with, might I recommend our community Discord server, which has plenty of people looking to group up on each platform every weekend. The link to join is discord.gg/pattycakes. With what I'm about to show you, you'll be able to see why I think that almost any role of the Messenger will yield a pulse rifle much better than most legendary alternatives. The Messenger is a 340 RPM 3-burst kinetic pulse rifle, which belongs to the high impact family. This archetype shouldn't be confused with the 450 RPM aggressive pulse rifles, which shoot 4 bullets at a time, even though they do have similar performance in the game. Intrinsically, these pulse rifles gain increased accuracy while you're crouched. Essentially, these pulses have a weaker version of the perk firmly planted inherently. Out of the gate, the Messenger has the advantage of occupying one of the best archetypes of pulse rifles, since the high impacts in their base form are able to kill a Guardian of 80 resilience or lower in just 5 headshots and 1 body shot. Or it can also kill 100 resilience Guardians if you land all 6 headshots. This will earn you an amazing optimal time to kill of just 0.67 seconds. To put this in perspective, the meta 120 RPM hand cannons currently have a time to kill of 1 second flat without a damage booster, and most scout rifles, auto rifles, and other pulse rifles have a time to kill of at least 0.8 seconds. As a quick note, if you're rocking a Messenger in a team, the combination of 1 headshot from a teammate using a 120 RPM hand cannon, along with 1 headshot burst from the Messenger, will result in an instant kill. Before we even begin to think about what perks can roll in the Messenger, and believe me, we have some really good ones, it's important to take a look at the Messenger's base stats so we know what kind of weapon we're working with. If we take a closer look, especially in comparison with the other high impact pulses, we can see a pattern. Whoa there. Let me run you through what you see on screen. I promise it's more simple than it looks. This chart shows the base stats of every legendary high impact pulse rifle in the game, grouped by stat category. You can see which color is which on the right. Most importantly though, the blue bar on the far left of each group is the Messenger. And right next to the Messenger is its older brother, the Redrix Broadsword, which is now unfortunately sunset. If you take a closer look at the graph, you can see that in stability, reload, and handling, the Messenger matches its older competitor, the Broadsword. These 2 pulses both have significantly higher base stats than all the other options. The Messenger, however, stomps the Broadsword and all other options in the range department by on average 5 stat points. Also, the Messenger is the only high impact pulse rifle with an extra burst in the mag, which is really nice for cleaning up kills on a weakened Guardian. The Messenger has 60 recoil direction, which kicks slightly to the right, but it can be corrected by slotting a counterbalance mod. Doing so will make the recoil pattern completely vertical. The only stat where the Messenger is not the absolute best, lacking behind its older brother Redrix, is aim assist. Even still, it's in place number 2 and not for long. We'll get to that in a minute. Think about the stats for a second. First of all, the Messenger has an absolutely massive range stat. With a max range roll, we're able to reach an incredible damage drop-off point of around 40 meters. Pulse rifles also have a gentler damage drop-off compared to hand cannons, so you can easily engage players at longer distances if you just land a couple extra headshots. Second, all of the other stats on the Messenger are basically best in class. This means that we can min-max our Messenger however we want, and that's without significantly sacrificing any other stat. Even if our roll is quite poor, we'll still have an excellent pulse rifle which has stats that are just as good as the alternatives, and that's even if the alternatives are perfectly rolled. Take a look at this adept Messenger and the range stat on this beast. Or maybe a higher handling roll is more your style. If you want a laser beam pulse rifle with crazy stability, that works too. So now that you know how the stats line up to the competition, let's take a look at what roles you'd want to chase on your messenger. Okay, this late into the season, I don't think that many players would be surprised to hear that the messenger can roll Desperado, which is the signature perk of the former most lethal pulse rifle, the Regic's Broadsword. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Keep the fact that Desperado exists in the back of your mind, and let's first think about what Masterwork, barrels, and mag perks we'd want on the messenger. Again, if you don't hit the perfect roll, you shouldn't be worried because the messenger has really great stats to begin with, and they only get better with good perks. For example, I can argue that whatever masterwork you get is going to be a good one. Range and stability are obviously great choices on a pulse rifle. Handling on the messenger is a great option as well since high impact pulses are generally a bit sluggish. And a reload masterwork synergizes beautifully with Desperado or Kill Clip. With the messenger, it's almost impossible to go wrong here. In a similar sense, almost all the barrel and mag perks are at least decent. I'd only really avoid extended mag since it does tank your reload speed. Remember that the messenger has a higher magazine size by default. I really don't think it's worth having such a big penalty on your reload stat just for more shots. This is especially true when you're trying to activate something like Desperado or Kill Clip. Whatever messenger you get, maybe just don't select that extended mag and you'll be fine. So even though you're okay with whatever role you happen to get, let me tell you what the best options are in case you have the luxury of choosing your role. Generally speaking, you want to try to max out your range and stability first. More range will allow you more flexibility in the engagements you can take, and it will also improve how strongly your shots magnetize to the target. The stability stat will reduce how strongly the messenger kicks, which will tighten up your burst, making it easier to land headshots. This is very important on a high impact pulse rifle since you're really trying to land those sweet 2 burst kills as often as possible. Controller players especially might opt for higher stability as a preference. The absolute best role in my opinion would be a range masterwork, small bore for that bump in both range and stability, along with ricochet rounds which significantly bump up your stability and slightly increase your range. Also, don't underestimate the power of ricochet rounds when you're bouncing shots around the corner. They're really quite good for catching enemies off guard. Okay, let's talk about the fun stuff. The third and fourth perk columns, as you can see on screen, are simply said bonkers. Let me go out on a limb here and make the bold claim that there's basically no perk combination in the third and fourth slot which results in a bad or unusable messenger. I really think that whatever role you get here, you should be fairly happy. Even though most of you might be gravitating towards that almighty rapid hit and Desperado combo, and we will cover that role in a second, let me emphasize that all other perks are quite awesome too. And while we're taking a look at the perks, if you recognize that you have one on your particular role, try to think about how you can exploit it to its full potential. Also, think about which perks synergize best with the different barrels and masterworks. In the left column, we have a lot of consistency and ease of use perks, and all of them are quite nice. Probably the only subpar choice here, at least for mouse and keyboard players, would be Zen Moment. It's rumored that Zen Moment on PC does basically nothing. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not, but Zen Moment doesn't seem to reduce the spread of the burst very much, and it also doesn't noticeably reduce the camera shake while you're firing. For controller players though, perhaps you'll find that one to be a bit more valuable. Outlaw is a tried and true perk which will significantly buff your reload speed after a kill. Not much more to say here. Reloading fast synergizes well with both Kill Clip and Desperado in the right column. The remaining three options here are in my opinion all extremely powerful, and each of them can make a great pairing with the right column perks. Killing Wind gives you a massive boost to movement speed, accuracy, range, and handling after a kill. The boost to range and accuracy will allow you to challenge players at a little bit further range, and it also increases the amount of magnetism that you're going to experience. This will make it yet again easier to land those 2 burst kills. The movement speed bonus is also nice because it will make it a little bit more difficult for your enemies to hit you while you're strafing. Moving Target gives you a flat plus 10 aim assist as well as a small strafe speed boost while you're aiming down sights. Do you remember that the only stat category where the messenger failed to beat out the Regic's Broadsword? Yeah, well, here's that graph again, but the messenger now has Moving Target. Pretty nasty, as our friend Aztecross would say. According to what I've seen in the Destiny community, Rapid Hit seems to give you about 5 stability per stack, and it gives you 25 stability at the maximum 5 stacks. Regardless of exactly how accurate this analysis is, on a pulse rifle, Rapid Hit is undoubtedly an elite perk since every shot of the burst can contribute to getting those stacks up quickly. The only other pulse rifle that can roll with Rapid Hit is the Sacred Providence from Garden of Salvation. At maximum stacks, the bonus stability is really noticeable, and it will significantly help you to land those 2 burst kills. Also, Rapid Hit significantly buffs your reload speed, which is really nice to synergize with either Kill Clip or Desperado. Let's take a look at the right hand column perks next, and again try to think about which combinations of perks work the best. Headseeker will increase the leniency of the messenger. This allows it to 2-burst players at 80 resilience or less with 2 body shots and 4 headshots, but that's provided that you land every burst in the order of body shot, headshot, headshot. This will make it much easier for you to achieve that 0.67 second base time to kill. Combine this with the aim assist boost from moving target, or the stability boost from rapid hit, or the boost to movement speed and range from killing wind, and you're going to have a super consistent 2-bursting pulse rifle. Celerity is getting massively buffed in Season 14, and it will increase the handling of the messenger by quite a large amount. In general, high impact pulses are known for having bad handling stats, but the buff from Celerity will make the messenger feel a lot more snappy. Also, in a 1v3 situation, the bonus aim assist will make landing those 2-burst kills much easier. If you add moving target or killing wind on top of this, you're going to get something rarely seen, a unique super snappy high impact pulse rifle with a lot of aim assist. One for All is the only perk here whose benefit in PvP is questionable, but it's no doubt an excellent perk for endgame PvE since it allows you to get a massive damage buff without requiring you to kill any enemies. This is important because in endgame PvE modes like Grandmaster Nightfalls, you're typically going to be underleveled and required to land a lot of shots on an enemy to get a kill. You're definitely not killing things as fast as you normally would in these endgame activities, so any damage buff that doesn't require kills to proc is very welcome. Together with the artifact mods, the messenger can be a nasty pulse rifle even for PvE. Pairing One for All with rapid hit or outlaw to boost the reload speed can round this pulse off to make it a devastating PvE primary. Some of us even went flawless just to get the perfect PvE roll. Are you still with me here? It's time to talk about two very similar yet wholly different perks, Kill Clip and Desperado. Kill Clip is the tried and true damage perk of Destiny, which gives you 5 seconds of a massive damage buff if you reload after a kill. With Kill Clip active, the messenger can kill in just 5 headshots, allowing you to get a flat 0.6 second time to kill. Also, if you land just 2 headshots and 4 body shots, you're still going to be able to 2-burst your opponent to get that 0.67 second time to kill. This means that whenever Kill Clip is procced, you'll have a much easier time landing those 2-burst kills. Also, you'll get a fair boost to your effective range since the excess damage allows you to get that optimal time to kill at much further distances. And now, the perk you've been waiting for. Desperado, ladies and gentlemen, is the former pinnacle perk found only on the Redrix Broadsword and Claymore. It's also one of the contributing factors to why the Redrix was such a devastating pulse rifle in the right hands. Desperado is very similar to Kill Clip in that it boosts your outgoing damage after a kill and a reload. However, it works quite differently. First off, to even get Desperado procced, you're required to land a headshot final blow. Then you have about 4 to 5 seconds to reload, which is slightly more generous than Kill Clip, and after the reload, the perk will stay procced for a full 7 seconds, which again is slightly longer than Kill Clip. Unlike Kill Clip though, which increases our damage, Desperado increases our RPM. By how much? A lot. Really a lot. A messenger with Desperado active shoots even faster than the fastest firing rapid archetype of pulse rifles, at a mind-boggling 600 RPM. A 2-burst kill with Desperado active results in a time to kill of just 0.4 seconds. And if you manage to have any kind of damage boost along with Desperado, this is when you'll be able to achieve that elusive 0.33 second time to kill. So let's get 2 things straight. The requirement for Kill Clip is just a kill, whereas for Desperado you need to have that kill be a headshot. However, if you land primarily headshot kills, Desperado will be more lenient because you have more time to activate it and it lasts longer. Unlike Kill Clip, Desperado can be reactivated even when it's already procced. As a side note, many new players might not realize that one of the downsides to Kill Clip is that you need to let the perk run out before you're able to get a kill and reload to proc it once again. I wince every time I think about how many potential kill clips I've wasted in my career with slightly off timing. Desperado on the other hand is far more lethal and a lot more forgiving once you get it activated. Both Kill Clip and Desperado synergize beautifully with reload perks, so Outlaw and Rapid Hit are excellent choices. Also, Killing Wind to even further increase that lethality is very nice. Moving Target's also a great option for the extra aim assist and the strafe speed. The only choice I'd personally avoid here is Zen Moment as a mouse and keyboard player, but maybe you'll find it more useful on controller. Let's take a step back and take a look at what we've learned. The Messenger in its base form is indisputably the best legendary high impact pulse rifle in the game, significantly better than most other legendary choices. There's simply no other legendary high impact pulse with such high base stats. When you take the perks into account, it only gets better, and it has a beautiful sight that makes it really easy to acquire targets. Whatever role you end up with, you're going to have a fantastic pulse rifle. Something like Rapid Hit or Moving Target will grant you a very consistent pulse. The cherry on top is that if your enemy is foolish enough to die to your headshots and you get Desperado rolling, it's going to be more than enough to absolutely demolish an entire team. But remember, it's not Desperado alone that makes the Messenger what it is. It's the Messenger itself being a fantastic pulse rifle, which makes Desperado even more destructive. And if you get a damage buff along with Desperado like High Energy Fire or Whisper of Hedrons, you're going to be rocking one of the fastest time to kill weapons in the whole game. Unfortunately for the Messenger, as well as all high impact pulse rifles, it's not that easy to use. You'll get punished if you start missing too many shots. It's definitely a high risk, high reward proposal. If it's a life or death situation, you may want to retreat behind cover if you don't secure that 2-burst kill, because the 3rd burst comes in pretty late. I would recommend that you reposition and try again. As you learn to gently compensate for the recoil in the Messenger, you're going to start getting more and more of those 2-burst kills and growing more powerful. This is why the Messenger to me is one of the highest skill primary weapons in the game. There aren't many other primary weapons which can reward your skill in such a profound way. If you embrace the fact that the Messenger is a pulse rifle by playing slightly more positionally and capitalizing on its strengths, then yes, absolutely the Messenger has potential to defeat even the most godly rolled hand cannons. And it'll be making its debut soon into one of my next tier list videos, so be sure to subscribe. Speaking about godly rolled 120 RPM hand cannons, I think you'd really enjoy my recent review of the Igneous Hammer from the Trials of Osiris. I consider this to be the best hand cannon in Destiny 2 right now. If you want to check it out, it's the video on the top right of your screen and also in the description.